Hello everyone, it is nice to see you in this semester. How are you guys?
Hello, sir. I'm fine.
Hello,
How about you?
sir. How about you, sir?
Perfect. As you can see, nothing bad in this session. All right, before we start our meeting today, let's pray together. Start. Finish. All right. Last meeting, we will learn about something material or read context. And then for today, anyone know what's the material we will learn for this meeting?
No, sir. We don't know.
All right. For this meeting, we will learn a narrative text.
Let me share our material today. Before we start our material today, let me check your attendance first.
Tiffany Fani Hadela Hidayati,
Listen, sir.
Jenna Farukating,
Present, sir.
all right, thank you guys. A narrative text. All right, the agenda of today's lesson. First, objectifies, and then continue with warming up, and then continue with the material. Next, exercise, and the last, homework. All right, for the first objectify. In the objectifiers, and there's several submaterial like core competence, basic competence, and indicator.
Alright, guys, before we continue our next session, I think as I can see, you feeling still sleepy, right? So let's go to the warming up session. Let's check it out. And I send you a link in your chat box. You can check it and copy this link to doing your warming up exercise sessions. Alright, guys, because you have finished this session, what do you feel about this session, guys? Do you enjoy this session?
A little
Yes, sir.
bit, sir.
Pretty good. All right, we continue our core activity today about a material for narrative text. Let me share it again. A narrative text. What is a narrative text? A narrative text is an imaginary story that aims to entertain the reader. Of course, what is called an imaginary story is not necessarily true because it could be just an imagination of fiction story made by someone or a story made by a group and people that has not been proven true. Examples of narrative are Cinderella, Sankoryang, Snow White, Rabbits, and the Crocodile, and etc. Next, we continue to generic structure of narrative text. Generic structure of narrative text is orientation, complication, resolution, and a coda. And next, we continue to the purpose of narrative text. The purpose of a narrative text to amuse or to entertain the reader with the story. After that, we continue to language feature of narrative text. There are several language features of narrative text. First, specific character. The character of the story is a specific, not a general. For example, Cinderella, Tinkerbell, Snow White, Alibaba, and etc. And the second one, narrative fact, use of the adverb of time. For example, once upon a time, one day, 100 years ago. And the third, the grammar used for a narrative text using a simple past. A narrative text uses simple past because it tells the past of the object experienced with the pattern for the positive subject plus verb to plus object plus adverb optional. Maksudnya bisa tidak atau tidak. For example, she read a novel. Next, the form of negative with the pattern, subjects, plus did, following note, following verb one, and following object. Example, she did not read a novel. And the last, the form of interrogative, did, followed by subject, followed by verb one, and followed by object. For example, is did she read a novel? Next, in narrative text, there are action verb. Action verb show an activity. For example, run, sleep, walk, cut, and etc. After that, let's use a time conjunction. For example, when, and then, suddenly, and etc. For the last of the language feature of narrative text is a direct speech. The function of the direct speech is to make the story lively. For example, Snow White said, "My name is Snow White." The direct speech uses a present tense. All right, we continue to the examples and structure of the text. Because of we learned today about a fairy tale them, so the example of the structure of the text is from Tinker Bell. All right. After we show the sample and structure, we continue to the generic structure analysis. All right, for the generic structure of analysis for the text, think about the orientation starting from it was a special day in a pixie hollow until they gave her flower, water, and life, but everything touch fade away. And for the complication, there are several complication stages for one until four or five. All right. For the first complication, starting from the Tinker Fairies, showing the queen what they had made until Fawn tried to solve Ting how to be an animal fairy, but Ting was not good with the animals and either. This is an example of generic structure of analysis. Well, let me continue to the generic structure resolution. The resolution of this story is starting from wait. I know how we can fix everything, but I can do it alone. Until SeaWorld, a tinker very and proud of it. And for the orientation, we can draw a lesson from the story that each person has their own strength and how to achieve their aspects. And for the language feature for this text, the example of using a dating speech, your work is heard in the Pixie Hollow, Queen Client says. An example of simple past tense of using grammatical for Tinkerbell text is the Tinker Fairies showed the queen what they had made. And then the time conjunction for the Tinkerbell text, it used then. All right, guys. Next,
Because we have finished our module today, so we continue to exercise sessions. In the exercise session, there will be 5 questions related to the text. Answer it correctly with the text before joining the quiz. So in this session, that will be a text and related to the several questions that you will be to the text. You can join this task right now because I have sent this link in your chat box. Next, we continue our session today about check your correct answer for several questions.
all right, for number 1, 7 Dwarfs says, if you wish, you may live here with us. What did the dwarf mean with the word underlined? So the first step to answer this question, you must focus on the sentence with the underline. So you can draw answer like he offered Snow White to stay with them. Jadi dia meminta Snow White untuk tinggal bersama mereka. Alright, for the next question. Mention all the characters from the story related to. The key answer is Snow White, Aunt, Uncle, and the Seven Dwarfs. Jadi untuk pertanyaan ini kita disuruh menyebutkan semua karakter yang ada dalam cerita Snow White tersebut berdasarkan teks yang tadi di-share. The next question is, what is the main idea of the second paragraph? The correct answer is Snow White ran away from home when her aunts and uncle were having breakfast. This answer will be in the line paragraph 2. You can search the correct answer this in the second paragraph too. All right, for the next question, how is the ending of the story? The correct answer is Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs lived happily ever after. Jadi untuk pertanyaan ini, bagaimanakah ending dari cerita tersebut? Snow White dan ketujuh kurcaci hidup bersama bahagia selamanya. And the last questions, mention all the settings of the place in the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs stories. The correct answer is castle, woods, and a little cottage. You can search the correct answer in all the paragraph. All right, guys, did you any question for this several questions?
No question, sir.
No,
Alright.
sir.
So because there is no question for anyone, so we continue our material today.
Because all of you understand about all the material for today, for the end of the sessions, I will give you homework with the instructions. Please make a narrative text consists of 2 until 3 paragraphs based on what we learned today. Then analyze the structure and the language feature of the text. Do you understand for this instruction?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Thank you for coming today, and don't forget doing your homework, and see you in the next meeting.